doing, y'all? We back at y'all again with this heat, this fire. The I'm Right, You Wrong podcast show. And we're going to get this thing rolling. I'm Walt.
Yeah, this is Jay.
And I'm Misha.
And then I guess this episode, what we getting into, Jay? Hit us with that.
Hey, so we just had the first political debate. Had the president, Donald Trump, and the former VP, Joe Biden, sitting there, 74, 77 years old, boxing it out. Yeah. So we want to get into this discussion. So did y'all watch it? Did y'all watch the debate?
Definitely had a chance to watch it.
Caught some of it, not all.
Look, all right, before we get into the serious questions, let me say this. If this wasn't such a serious topic, that was the most hilarious show I have ever seen in my
That's
life.
why I text you. I said it's a show.
It
was a show. I was like, what the hell?
I was waiting on the
This guy.
puns. I was thinking it was going to be like jab for jab.
Right.
I was
Hey,
like, what
I was
the
like,
hell?
yo, where's Ashton Kutcher at? Is Biden getting punked in this joint? What?
Are we getting punked as the American people?
I was like,
Are
what the
you
hell is
getting
this?
punked? Man, that thing, I mean, I'm sorry. I was laughing through the whole thing. And
I was stunned. My mouth was open. I just could not believe that adults were literally
they couldn't
couldn't conduct themselves.
Yeah. Look, I know a lot of people felt different. I think you felt however you felt based on your expectations of it, right? And my expectations was this was going to be a show. So I took it as a show.
I thought it was going to be a spectacle.
You
I did. I was
Okay.
thinking, get your drinks ready. You know,
Yeah,
there's so
your
many
popcorn.
memes going out. Get your popcorn. This is getting ready to be. This is going down.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I didn't think it was going to be a real productive debate.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be productive.
Hey, Joe Biden said that in one segment. The moderator,
Chris.
I forget his name.
But anyway, he was like, yeah, we're gonna move to the next section, and Joe Biden was like, yeah, that previous one was really productive, wasn't it?
Right.
No, seriously.
It's like
right. I get it.
No, it wasn't. but
So what's your take on it, Jay?
man,
What's your take on?
so well, let me ask y'all this.
Okay.
For the parts that you did see, and this is a crazy question based on the circumstance, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Who won the debate?
Without question, Joe Biden.
I don't think it was a matter of who won per se. I would think who reached the most people effectively, right? That would be my
Okay.
question. That's
Okay.
how I would
Okay.
word it.
I like that.
Okay.
Who I think connected to the average American person
Okay.
the most?
Who do you think connected the most then?
Biden. Who connected to the average?
Okay.
The average working person? I'll have to say Biden in that instance.
So both of y'all are basically on Biden. I'm gonna say Trump all day.
That he connected to the average working person?
Here's my thing.
I'm
If-
stunned
if-
with this Trump. So
I
go
know.
ahead. I mean, I'm really floored.
No, yeah, I'm curious on how he connected with the average person.
So this is the thing, right? In the debate, it reminded me of a 80s, early 90s Tyson bout. And Trump came out dictating how the fight was going to go.
But that only,
I'm not going to let you talk.
Right.
I'm not going to let the moderator get in. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to control everything. Now,
is that good though?
I'm not saying it's good or bad.
No, I'm
I mean,
asking you. Is that a good thing?
Hey man, we're gonna get to that part. We're gonna get to that part. But I think he came out and he controlled the debate. And so based on him controlling it, I think he won.
But that's not a clear win. That is childlike tactics. And if you caught most of the post-show conversation, they agreed that Trump came out hot. Chris Wallace was the moderator. He had a very hard time having.
Oh, he had a tough time.
Tough time, but the goal and the blueprint of Trump was to come out, to not let anyone speak. If that was his goal, he met it.
Right.
But was he able to capture any votes? No. Because people couldn't trust his answers were neither clear.
But with that, Trump has a base.
He does.
Did his base change?
Did not.
Okay. Biden has a base. Did his base change?
No, but Biden is up by 10 points on every poll there is. So
was
the goal
Clinton.
of
So was Clinton.
Well, true indeed, but the goal of the debate is to swing the voters in the middle.
Right.
Right? That's the goal. The goal is to swing.
So do you
We
think
agree?
it swung anybody in the middle?
Not a soul. It couldn't swing kindergartners. So Walt,
I don't. That's the thing, though. Like, see, when I look at lectures and debates, I look forward to kind of get an insight on the way they think. Me personally, so that's why I said, did it get to the American people?
No.
But did you feel like Joe Biden was able to get to the American people?
Some of the topics that he talked about.
I think every time he partially was able to get to the American people, Trump hit him in the mouth.
But
every time.
It's not necessarily hit him in the mouth.
Okay.
His approach was ignorant. He just showed.
Doesn't matter.
But see, the thing is, though, if you want, to me, the average American person, American citizen, I would view that as, why would I vote for someone like that who can't conduct himself and have a decent conversation, a decent debate
on an American platform, right?
Y'all know y'all are talking about the one who already is president. He already won.
No, I know.
So he won with the Russians. Let us be clear. He didn't just win because.
That's true.
But he
that's
win.
true.
He
what I'm
won
saying is for
after
the ones,
he was talking about grabbing women by the. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But like you said, Russia was involved the initial. But listen, hold on. But listen, just hear me out. So if you have the president, the sitting president right now, Donald Trump, right? So if you actually voted for him, my question would be, are you still comfortable? He can't conduct himself in a professional manner.
Right.
But okay, and I would argue this: the 4 years taught you that.
Not necessarily.
No, because from my perspective, he campaigned the first time on, and I'm going to jump out there and say that he convinced a group of people that they had something to gain.
Yeah.
Case in point, West Virginia, he went to the coal miners and said, hey, we're going to change this around.
Right.
I'm going to change things for you. And he got in office and abandoned them. Right. They got absolutely nothing that he promised. So after you convince a base group that they have something to gain the first time, then they don't gain it. When you get to the second election, it's your time to be clear on
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He didn't give any insight on his plans.
Did he change? Did you expect anything different from him?
So far as the debate?
Sure. Yeah.
No. Me personally, no.
Okay, so he gave you exactly. I think he gave
to the
American
I'm not one
people
to care about politics because I know it's all an illusion.
Yeah,
but you have people that lives this stuff. I mean, this is their life. They love it.
But nobody. He didn't change your opinion. But I think everybody expected some version of what they got from him. I don't think anybody went in.
I would agree.
I don't think anybody is like,
would agree.
oh my gosh, I can't believe the president of the United States acted that way.
Well,
not
the
this
world,
president.
The world believes that
Yeah.
right now because right now we're an embarrassment. We are supposed to be one of the superpowers of the world,
Right.
And on a world stage, we are embarrassed because now it looks like a kindergarten class, and it looks like what's supposed to be a superpower is no longer a superpower because the commander in chief can't conduct himself as the professionalism, and his taxes to drop a couple days before also said he isn't the businessman he sold you all on to.
But no, actually, it said he is the businessman, But that's the different
But that's
story.
not. That's
but,
it. He's a bit. That's
but
his
It doesn't mean
accountant.
good
But
businessman.
his account. That's a slap in the face to the average workers.
Correct.
That's
why I'm saying.
I paid more than $750.
That's what I'm. Did he connect
That's
with
why
the American people? Is what that was my question.
That's why his accountant deserves the medal of what Jay Z said. My
his
accountant deserves that medal.
But his accountant is going to go down.
That's
as well.
a lot of people.
But like he said, Biden been in there for 47 years,
right.
And all Trump did was abide by the rules that they had put in place. So
the loopholes were there. The
loopholes are there. Yeah.
But then they also said that the New York Times article also says that the 410 between 410 million and 450 million in debt he's going to be. He can't. His accountant isn't going to be praised for that.
I mean, let's be realistic about it. It's not what
that's a huge
Biden put in place. It was a collective effort.
There's no billionaire that's not in debt. Facts. I mean, that's
you can't.
They use debt. No. See, we look at debt differently. Mm-hmm. We talk about it because we ain't billionaires, so we talk about it as a loss. No, it's leverage for them. But that's a whole nother story. Okay. That's a whole nother thing, right? I don't think he gave anybody anything different than what was expected. Remember, this is the same guy who, during the debates with Hillary Clinton, walked around standing behind Hillary Clinton in the debate, like as looking like a predator. Right.
He was a little bit more bold because that was a female. He wouldn't do that with another male.
Well, you know, because of social distancing and all that stuff, they had to stay with.
He wouldn't do it with another male.
But he was there. Yeah. He was doing it verbally this time. I mean, he was doing it verbally.
That doesn't appeal to average. That wouldn't appeal. Like, what do I get from that?
It doesn't appeal to you.
But then you also have to take into
arguing
point.
Like bullying,
right? Because it was a bully. It was a whole bully tactic. It was the Tyson go in, swing first, control the fight. But if you control it with heat the whole time, it does not appear that to Americans that's every day. We can't go into the boardroom with 100% heat. I have to come and bring
no situation in the professional world where you can conduct yourself the way he did and not have great consequence.
Right, and he shall.
You can't go into your manager's office if you don't have your own. If you have your own business, you can't talk to your employers that way. I wouldn't advise it. There's no form of the average person at work where they can do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not talking about the average people.
True.
No, but these are the people with minds that you're trying to captivate and share with them your plan to gain their vote.
And I think just as many of them that are disgusted with his behavior. There's a large group
that is pleased. However, if we're reading our papers and things of that nature, yes, he does appeal to some, but there is a big collective in the Republican Party right now that's jumping ship.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Never have in my lifetime have you heard of a Colin Powell saying, "I'm breaking party lines. I'm voting for Biden." There are people.
I have seen a lot of traditional Republicans say, "Man, like he's no longer." It's not that they saying he doesn't represent the Republican Party. He's about himself.
Right.
So you have the average voters that's feeling in the same way. Listen, I know Trump base. Trump base is basically the divide people base, the people that hate, the angry people, right? But he also had people that was a part of his base that voted for him that actually thought economically they were going to gain from him because of his business savvy that appeared to be a part of his portfolio, if you will. They thought that he was so business savvy that they were going to gain, only to find out
they got nothing.
Well, no. They did until this COVID thing happened.
No, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Let's talk about this car.
It's never everybody.
Detroit.
It's never everybody.
True.
And even in the COVID, you have a large group of people that are upset. You don't remember do you remember the recordings came out where he said he lied on purpose?
Yeah.
So like it's a lot of people that's traditional Republicans that are like really extremely upset with him, but not being honest about.
So we're gonna go back to our other political discussion, right? Who do you believe? These politicians, lifelong politicians that have been in Congress for 30, 40 years, now jumping ship, or the guy who's supposed to be draining the swamp?
Who I believe about what?
Do we believe?
Which one do you believe? Because you got these
Career
lifelong politicians, right? Who've been there 30, 40 years. And I know how I feel about politicians. So
I think all politicians are
full of it.
Yeah, they don't really.
All right, cool. So we on the same page there, right?
Yeah, I don't.
So which one do you believe? Do you believe the lifelong one who says, nah, don't vote for this dude? Or do you believe the new politician who was supposed to come in, and I'm using air quotes, supposed to come in and drain the swamp?
Okay, so I'll say this on that perspective. The reason why I would go with like a Biden, let's just say him for the sake of the argument and what's currently going on in modern times, is because his track record has a plethora of different things in it, right? It has some things that aren't quite
favorable.
Right. Some things that aren't favorable, but he also has things in his path that when he worked with Obama, I thought were fantastic.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying
but his history is going to, when you decide to run, they're going to pull it all
up. And listen, I'm not saying that no political person,
but you're using the Biden. Biden is a Democrat. He's supposed they're on the battle, but I'm talking about these Republicans that are jumping ship, right?
Well, I'm speaking for the Republicans that just like regular people that I know that go to work and come home. I'm talking about them.
Oh, I'm not talking about like so you ain't talking about the politicians.
No.
Oh, I thought you was talking about.
I know people personally. I have neighbors.
Okay.
Who I've spoken to, several of them, and they voted for Trump. They openly tell you I voted for Trump because I thought of the financial aspect of what he was going to do.
Right.
And they told me personally that they actually lost. They lost more. Their taxes were higher than they ever been, and things like that. So that's why I'm saying like I'm not speaking like celebrities. Or
I know a lot of people who 401k was doing crazy until this year, crazy.
And you can see that 401k, the market going up and down, and then there were certain parts right before COVID where it was a deep dive.
Yeah.
And we started to see that. So everyday average Americans were seeing their money like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out because it's happening.
And I'm not even saying
us.
Trump should have all the answers. That's not what I'm saying. No politician is going to have the answers. I mean, it's politics. But I would have loved to.
Usual.
Right.
I just don't want them to be self-loathing. Like, I want a Congress that actually works for the people.
And ultimately,
that is hilarious.
Nah, seriously.
But
it's sad though.
That's what
sad.
they sell.
Right. Well, let's do some term limits and let's get these career politicians out of there.
I don't understand how it's not a term. I said this a million. I don't understand how they can stay.
Because they get in and they figure out,
so long.
I can stay for 16 terms. I'll cheat. I'll do everything possible.
They don't do nothing but set up their own longevity their own contracts, and their own money lines, and for sure money, like money that's going to come in no matter what, no matter what, this money is going to come in.
But that doesn't make you question why these people are against him. That don't make you say,
those people still exist with him.
What do they have to gain to be against? Or why would they be against him?
Because one of the biggest things that I see is that we have now, we haven't elected a president, but Donald J. Trump won the election.
We elected it.
They elected a president.
Okay.
That was weird thoh. How the
Electoral College selected a president.
Exactly.
That was strange.
He stole it. So, but it is a lot of thievery.
Yeah, that was weird.
Going on.
It was weird.
Hey, that's always been our system.
So,
unfortunately,
that's true. That is true.
Those people did believe that he would make business deals and bring back manufacturing jobs to America, and the Detroit business with cars would do well.
It's a lot of stuff.
So many people believed that
Mexico's
he's
going
done
to pay
so
for
well.
the wall.
Mexico, and then this wall is still does not exist now.
And I'm not even against that policy with him. I feel as though I'm not saying no one should come here, but I do think you should go through the proper channels in order to gain rightful citizenship. That's what I'm saying. But
see, here's the thing with the presidency. And I do got some more questions about the debate specifically. But the thing about the presidency is this: we always put way too much stock in the presidency itself.
It's local officials,
because
really.
not only local officials, right? But no president can do anything really by themselves.
Period.
You could do executive orders for small things,
right?
But for the major stuff, you need the whole body of Congress. You need the House. You need the Senate.
This president
you
isn't
need
doing that way. He comes in and feels like I can't get them to
But
take
see, here's the thing,
route,
though.
Executive order.
But you can't put that on any president. You can't put that on Obama. You can't put that on Bush. You can't put that on Clinton. You can't put that on any president, because whatever the president brings to the table, unfortunately, we have a Congress who, if this is a Republican president, the Democrats are going to want to do other stuff.
Right.
If this is a Democratic president, the Republicans are going to want to do stupid stuff. Like, I mean, it's funny because they're two, in my opinion, they're two sides of the same coin, but they're fighting for power. But at the end of the day, it's all an illusion, if you ask me, because they're the same daggone coin. So you say left, I say right, and then we go out and eat together and have a good time.
Because they're all
the time.
We all family. We all the
They
same.
do it
coin.
all the
You know what I'm
time.
saying?
They do it all the time.
Look, they
the
probably
time.
Biden and Trump probably got in the back. Were like, yo, that was a good debate. Yo, that was crazy,
knows?
man. That was
He's like, yeah, Joe, I've known you for years. Like, yeah, it's true.
yeah, man. But I know Biden was mad when he brought up his son. But that's a whole nother thing.
No, we got to stick to that one, because
That was
was
horrible.
like,
That was horrible.
There were things inside of. I mean, Biden could have gone low there. He really could have. He could have. There's their.
But I like how he spent it though, right?
Yeah, he did spend it, because
That's
right
why I'm
now
saying
the
he touched
opioid crisis.
Yo,
is
listen,
very
son,
real.
he related to mad people. He was like, okay, I got a son who deal with substance abuse.
Right, and I'm proud of him. I was.
I
Really
like how
glad
he
for
spent it.
trying
Like
to-
a lot. It's like mad people, kids and moms and dads who are
and we
addicted
see
to
that every day.
Right.
This is you know
We
what
work
we
in
work
that-
in that
right.
environment.
So I
However,
like that's
And you know what? That was probably a win for him. Now,
And I was like,
now that you put it like
I
that,
kind of was like,
because I actually
Check
didn't
me.
take it that way. I didn't take it
Nah,
that way.
I definitely did. I was offended.
I didn't even
because
know
went to
he had a
children.
kid that was dealt with that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that made me
Yeah.
have more empathy. I was like, yo, I didn't even know that. That's kind of crazy. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like, why would you talk about his
son.
kids? He got
Yeah,
substance
but
abuse. That's
I was
messed
thinking,
up.
Right.
Joe could have easily pulled out a double barrel shotgun and said, "Hey, hold on, bro," because Jared Kushner. I've seen the damage he's done just in Maryland itself.
Yeah.
His companies and things of that nature. And here he is. You brought him in not even as, you'll give him a special
And he talked about like
counsel.
one of his sons just passed, right?
Yeah, Bo Biden.
No.
Bo Biden passed a few years ago.
So Joe Biden was talking about Bo,
Bo, right.
and Trump
was
brought
talking
in the
about Hunter.
other son.
Yeah, Hunter Biden.
And that's the one with the substance abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hunter is alive.
Yeah, but to
That's
be
so
fair,
terrible, bro.
Trump
That's so terrible.
Trump
That was
didn't
low.
bring in the substance abuse. Trump was talking about the money that he was getting paid from.
Right.
He was
Yeah,
talking about that
from
crooked
Russia.
deal
Yeah.
from the Russians.
Yes.
That's what he was talking about.
So what-
but Trump but now that you say it, like
kinda
Biden
crazy.
did,
It was crazy.
because when I heard it, I was like, oh, what? I didn't even understand why Biden brought that up.
To me, I think
because
that was-
Biden brought it up.
Well,
like Biden,
he
kind of
Trump was curving towards it, and,
Yeah, he kinda
and it's
alluded
like
to it,
either
right?
I'm going to let
Yeah,
you shoot me,
yeah.
or I'm going to
Almost.
stand here and say
But
this is what's going
I like
on
how
with my
he's
kids.
Yeah.
smart for doing it because to
Very
me,
smart.
I could relate to that.
Right.
I had family members I seen strung out,
so
all
have
types
I.
of, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm a regular Joe Blow. I kind of feel him. Like, all right,
That's-
he said, I'm
was
proud
a
of him.
Very low.
He was like,
blow.
my son, he battled and he won. I'm
Right.
proud of him. Like,
Yeah.
I could dig that.
Yeah.
that's
That's
know,
something I
the
can
average
relate to.
American has to deal with that right now. This
I can
opioid
relate to that.
crisis was in
Yeah.
our communities before it didn't take as much precedence.
Oh, you mean
as
the
it is
war
now.
on drugs when they gave us
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
The
When they
war
put
on
it there, right?
Where you put it there and then say, okay,
when
well,
they
I'm
gave us
gonna help
crack. Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty dope.
I
I felt like
you. I definitely did.
I felt like in that way I could relate to Bite. Like he know what it
Yes.
feels like to have a loved one deal with substance abuse. I could relate to him in that manner.
And that's always been Biden's. that's always been Biden's angle, right? I'm the guy that takes the train, and I'm I'm the average Joe.
Right.
But that's I mean, if you want to, if you,
But you ain't.
He's not.
You not.
None of them.
You've been in politics longer than I've been alive.
Right.
You ain't the average Joe.
No. Right.
But I mean,
his story is somewhat different though, because Trump was like $1 million, like his dad gave him $1 million or something.
Oh,
like that.
their two stories are different.
Yeah.
But that's why I was saying, like, who do you think connected with the average person?
I don't think either one of them did. That's what I'm saying, because I think Trump dominated it so much that Biden couldn't even because like now that you bring that part up, as far as him taking up for his son. Yeah, I didn't take it that way when I heard it. Right, when I heard it, I was like, oh, Trump bullying this dude, and got him in the corner. He's sitting there like, oh well, yeah, my son was he was dealing with drugs and stuff, but he overcome. It was like Trump just punked you, man. You sitting there talking about your son in that way. But now that you say it like that, I'm like,
I was like, I can relate to homie, man. That's what's up.
Most pundits felt the very same. Well, they felt like it was not only just a low blow, like he stayed so low to his fighting was nasty and dirty the whole time. Whereas as a professional, you have to be able to. They give you 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes to say, "Hey, America, this is what I'm going to do for you." And Trump, every time he got 2 minutes, it was like a babbling idiot. You're like, "What are you talking about?"
They both spoke out of turn, not painting the picture, but.
Trump did it more.
But Biden was able to answer questions in those.
And I will.
No,
Biden
would not answer questions. That is the problem. No,
you say he didn't answer.
He didn't.
No.
Nah,
so for example, Chris Wallace asked him very specifically, "Do you plan on stacking the courts if?" Because okay, so Donald Trump has Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, right? So he has now
he has
the ability to put somebody in that seat, right? This would be his third, right?
Yes,
this would be his third Supreme Court, right? So Chris Wallace asked him that. Biden would not answer that question.
No, he said he wanted to wait till the outcome of the election.
No, you're wrong. Biden answered that question.
He did not.
Let me pull it up.
He even said, "I will not answer that question," because Donald Trump said, "Answer the question, Joe. You gonna answer the question?" Joe Biden said, "No, I'm not going to answer the question."
I thought he said he wanted to wait till the outcome was
his answer. His answer, and I'm using air quotes again. His answer was that this is what we're focused on right now. We're focusing on this right now.
No, he answered the question.
No, he did not.
I'm pulling.
No, he did not.
I thought he said he wanted to wait till after the election.
He did say that. He said he wanted to wait.
That was him not answering the question.
But
he said we'll fill it after we determine the outcome of the election.
The question.
This is a current election. He said we're already in a current election right now. The process has already begun.
Yeah.
So he said what he should do is wait until after the election. To then place someone in or start the process.
No, that's not what he said. That is not what he said.
That's what he said.
No. Biden said, we are in, this process has started, right? This is what we need to focus on. That's what Biden said. We need to focus on this. The question was, are you, because the option is for the Democrats to add seats to the Supreme Court. That's what they're talking about. Do you want to add seats to the Supreme Court?
No, not adding seats.
Yes.
Filling the seats.
No. Adding.
Filling.
They are talking about adding seats.
I don't doubt that.
So that they could
I missed that part.
I have to disagree.
Come on. Y'all gotta be on this.
Hold on, I'm
I missed that part. I told you about the one I saw when they were asking
you can
about
Google
replacing.
It's because it's the part when he tells Donald Trump to shut up. It's the part when he tells Donald Trump to shut up.
I was the one I was referring to.
He said, "Shut up, man."
The one I was referring to is the one when they were asking replacing, and then he said we should wait till the election is determined and then move from there.
But the question was, do you want to add seats so you can stack the court? Donald Trump was saying,
I don't know about
Donald Trump was saying, y'all want to stack the court. Y'all want to stack the court. And he said, he's like, and Donald Trump was like, answer the question. answer the question.
Okay, so this
he was
is
like,
two
"Shut up."
different.
He was like, "Shut
we're
up, man."
definitely dealing with two different questions. I was coming from the perspective of filling Ruth.
Yeah, that's
Bader
what I
Ginsburg's
thought
seat.
you was asking.
And then the other question,
I'm not sure about the
there
one-
too, because here on
They're connected.
Fox News,
They're connected.
Fox News definitely felt like Biden deflected on the packing the court question. He said
I
he
didn't
wasn't
even
going
see
to
that
play.
one.
So he said, "I'm not going to play Trump's game." Then here,
Who said that?
this is a quote from Joe Biden.
No, that's when he told him to shut up.
Right, but this is part of what he said.
Mhm.
He did tell him to shut up, but he
He
also
didn't say
said,
I'm not playing Trump's game. I
this is
just
a quote. This is a quote. Okay, so hold on.
We-
And
we-
then
I missed that part.
I'm
so I
gonna have
can't
to
speak
cut
on
that.
that.
I'm gonna have to cut that and put it on the YouTube.
yeah.
joint.
Go ahead.
I can't-
Cut it.
yeah.
I
Put it
can't
there.
speak on this one because I didn't see that part.
So he did not answer the court packing question.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Okay. But the second part of that, or
And they
the
won't.
part that I was answering, was the filling of her seat, because there's a rush.
They won't answer that either.
There was a rush to fill. He did
answered
answer
it.
that part.
Why
There
didn't-
was
No.
a rush to fill that.
Saying
saw when
saying
he-
that we're gonna address that later is not answering the question.
No, he didn't say fill it later. His exact words that I remember him saying was,
Trust me.
he said that we're going to wait. He said the election is already going on. We should wait to see who wins.
Correct.
And then fill it.
that
That's
person
not
should
it. That's
fill
not answering the
But
question.
you may not feel it is. I definitely felt
Well,
like,
I understand what he's saying.
right, because we have to go back to Obama. When Obama had the opportunity to fill a seat, they did a lot of filibustering and making sure that Mitch McConnell and his cronies made sure that Obama was not able to fill that seat before the election.
Right.
Then you have
Right.
what's his name? Oh gosh, it skips me right now. Who went on? It's not Mitch McConnell. It's Lindsey Graham. Lindsey
Okay.
Graham then says, "You can quote me. You can write this down and take a picture." On the next election, if it's Trump, he should not be able to fill the seat before the election is done. So then he writes a letter this week, signs it, and said, if any of you were in the same position, you would try to fill it right now. It's political play.
So here's the problem with that, because I brought that up. Actually, I brought that up when she died. I was like, "Oh, it's a wrap. Donald Trump gonna win. It's a wrap. It's over. Don't even have an election because they want."
Why did you feel that way, though?
Because they want somebody in that seat, and they're not going to let him do it right now, and they're not going to let Biden pick it. So I was like, it's a wrap. And then I
And you
started
felt like
doing
that
some.
affected the election or the Supreme Court process, because those two different processes. for
Yes,
me.
the person going in that seat. When I felt like, because when you pick a president, one of the things that you are basically
Privileged, yes.
picking is who sits in that seat, right?
Yep.
And so I felt like, well, unfortunately, the powers that be want a certain person type in that seat, and so since that seat, in my opinion, wasn't going to be filled until the next president anyway,
right.
then they're going to put him back in easily so that but then I went back and looked, and you know what the Democrats did when after all that with Obama, they went in and started putting rules in place because they were able to mess up Obama's appointment. Right, and they were able to hold it off.
The
No,
Republicans
hold it.
were able to hold it off.
Hold
Right.
it.
Okay.
Hold it. Trump needs to be able to. Trump need to
pick
be
it.
able to
Correct.
pick this, right? But no, I'm still president. But because of the rules, it went to Trump. Guess what the Democrats decided to do? Oh, we need to change that, because if this happens again, we need to be able to. But see, when you go in and start changing rules for you, and then when it don't work in your favor,
This is just political play.
You
Yeah,
are
that's politics in general,
This
though.
is politics and political
but it's
play.
the rules that they set up that Trump is going to be able to. Hey, okay, I can pick
But-
who I want to because y'all just changed the rules.
They did change the rules,
So-
and now it is. But
It
at
was
the same
stupid, but
time,
it is what it is.
The Republicans played to their advantage,
Right.
as usual.
Yeah,
and
I mean they all.
political
Yeah,
play-
they all are.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
but political
politics in a
play,
nutshell.
In a nutshell.
That is politics.
All right, so a few other things came up in the debate, right? So Biden blamed Donald Trump for COVID. Do y'all think that was fair? Do you think it was out of bounds? Do you think it was?
He didn't blame him for COVID per se, but he blames him for not being as active as he should have been. This is known now because recordings came out of him knowing that it was worse than what it was, but he kept it from the American people. You can't do that. You have elderly people, you have just people in general because it was killing everyone, and it still is, but the elderly people were dying off more than anyone.
Right.
Had they had a bigger warning and they knew the precautions that they should have taken, if he listened, I've seen meetings they had on TV with Anthony Fauci or whatever his name, Dr. Fauci. He's a liar too, but when he was giving his recommendations on what to do, and Trump intervened, what he was saying.
Now, okay, I'm glad you brought his name up. Do we listen to Dr. Fauci?
I think he's I can't listen to politicians tell me about medical issues. I'm not going to go to a politician for a bellyache.
Right.
So at the same time, we know that politicians control the narrative of what's being said. Dr. Fauci is a doctor. He's a well-respected doctor. His information had been not questioned up until COVID. So now we have to go back and say, why are you questioning his medical opinion now when he gave information on H1N1? I mean, the man, his resume spoke for itself.
Right. So it's like I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But it was, I guess they call them daily briefings or whatever. They come on TV and Dr. Fauci was speaking about certain things and precautions to take, and Trump would intervene. Like he didn't want him to express, but so much. I don't know exactly
controlling it.
So this is interesting, right? So
it was a point in time when he said like, "Don't wear a mask."
Right. That's where I was going. Early on, he was like, "Don't wear a mask." Like it makes no sense for you to wear a mask.
But when the doctors and the data was showing him that no masks aren't 100% bulletproof, but they affect something. They help in some way. They're not 90%.
But that's what he said. I went back and looked at. He had an interview on 60 Minutes where he said he was like, I mean, at the end, his conclusion was, look, if you want to wear a mask, you can wear a mask. It may,
but why not?
It may. It may stop one droplet. That was what he said, right? But then he comes back and says, okay, we gotta wear masks. So which one is it? Because the science did not change. Okay. The science did not change.
But the data changed.
Well, you gotta understand this is this is new.
New.
It has to change.
No.
It wasn't new because
what I mean, like this particular strain, right? It was a new. What you saying? No to what?
This ain't.
He's
new.
saying the science.
This
we all agree that it was here. However, you can't say things don't mutate. You can't say that the science, different strains. You have.
That's what I was alluding. I was about to say
the flu. My son, when he was small, he had both strains A and B.
Right.
And they said, he's got to stay in the hospital. He has both strains A and B. Then you can get a strain the very next year that could be strain F.
Right.
So we can't say that the science and things aren't documented don't change.
But the droplets are going to be the same size, so the mask ain't going to change. The mask would not change. For example, we work in the field.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So
you don't think there's no benefit to wearing a mask at all?
So for everybody that does not know, we're in the medical field, right?
Right.
And so in the medical field, if we come into contact with somebody who has it, are we supposed to wear the regular mask that we wear, or are we supposed to wear a different mask?
We are supposed to wear an N95.
Right. So why don't we always wear an N95? If we're going to protect ourselves from this.
No. You have to understand
why do we
have
to change?
No.
Why do we have to change?
Because the closer the closer in proximity you are with the person, the carrier of the disease, the more susceptible you are to it. So if you're in the room, isolated
Exactly.
to yourself, you're fine to wear the traditional, the regular mask. But if you go into this person's room who has it, you are encouraged to wear. That doesn't discredit the average mask because you're in the hallway.
Yes,
You're
it
not,
does.
No, it does
yes,
not.
it does. Because
You
when
don't
when you come in, I don't know if you have it.
But
No,
this,
no,
So
no.
this
I
is also an
I
issue.
should be protected if I don't know.
Well,
So I do agree with you. I do agree that we should have all N95.
But then that plays into
Period.
That plays into the lack of
PPEs.
right? The lack that's something different. But what I'm talking about just
He did bring that up in the 60 Minutes too.
Yeah, he did. He handled that wrong.
He said
he absolutely dropped the
basically
ball on
he was saying the reason why we shouldn't be wearing masks is because the people who need it in the medical field will run out of masks if everybody's wearing them.
But this was also one of the
And
reasons
that was back in
too,
March.
why they felt like Trump didn't handle this properly.
Right.
Because once he saw it ramping up, which to be honest, it was ramping up way before January in China. They saw it ramping up. They didn't ask for more ventilators. They didn't ask for more N95s because really and truly, they now know that if you don't have a patient who is positive for COVID-19 in a zero pressured room, that same one person can go through that HVAC system and spread it. That is proven by science.
Okay.
So yes, we should have, because we don't know. We're fighting something that we can't see. So that's the basis of
Right.
COVID. We're fighting
Right.
something we can't see. So if that's the case, I do feel like, because I don't know, in the medical field right now, they are doing better as far as testing those who are coming into a facility and going out as a deterrent to the disease.
So it was fair for Biden. It was fair for Biden to put COVID on Trump's lap.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, he didn't handle it. He didn't. I would say I don't think he handled it. It could have been handled better.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's a
Had he gone
crisis.
after it,
Yeah.
It would have been a crisis regardless.
Yes.
But it could have been handled better.
better.
Yeah.
Without a
It was
doubt.
going to be what it was going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he can't wave a magic wand and no one gets sick.
Yeah.
People were going to get sick. It was going to get transmitted. Other people was going to get it from other people.
Right.
That was going to happen, but it could have been handled better.
So what if he said, you know what, we see an increase coming from the Pacific.
Right.
We're going to shut down borders here to try to protect us, and then start to explain to the American people what was happening there, and that this so much they don't know, but what they do know says that right now we need to kind of, before March 13th, close things down.
Yeah.
So yes,
Well, I mean,
definitely it's his Katrina. And he will serve as
yes, yeah, and I agree. I mean, he did shut down the country. Maybe it was a little too late. Maybe
Yeah, he could have been a little bit more proactive with it, because
Correct.
the reason why I say that is because we saw other countries that were really proactive doing so.
Correct.
And
New Zealand.
Yeah, it went down substantially. Like it went down really quickly compared to, and I understand it's politics in it all, but at the end of the day, you're the head, right? So if you encourage
Correct.
safetiness and this, that, and the third, they're gonna follow. I mean, you hold the local governments accountable and say, hey, these are the things you guys should be enforcing. They're gonna do it eventually. I mean, they have to.
I mean,
I think he would be farther
had to.
along in the polls if he had handled that.
I think that was
differently.
I think that bothered like a lot of people that happened the way it happened, especially when that audio was released of him. It's no mistaking it's him. It wasn't like some.
I think the audio may have influenced some people, but I think the actual reality of people every day is like, okay, something's up. Like, when it hits your address, when you see 207,000 people have died, that's one thing. Or when you gotta wear a mask.
You gotta wear a mask.
You know what I'm
can't
saying?
go.
Like,
your children can't go to school. You're dealing with them. When people are now facing the everyday
Right.
woe because of the lack of.
It's crazy. You have your president saying one
Correct.
thing, but society is moving in a different direction. You know what I mean?
People's businesses are hurt. They're hurting.
People lost.
And
their
then your
business.
family members, for those who said, "Oh, it's not happening. It's not real." When it
Now,
hits
my
your
aunt had
actual
it.
family,
I didn't know until after the fact, but my aunt, she lives in Upper Marlboro. She caught it.
Yeah, my
'Cause at the
nephew
time-
and his baby were both asymptomatic.
At the time, she didn't know because it didn't catch wind.
Right.
It was a thing, but it wasn't like
Big
woo.
gap. Okay.
Oh, I ran into a lot of people who were, deathly ill, like in December and January.
She got sick, and I think I forget which month, but it was really early in the year.
And
I had no idea, and I called up there, and they was like, "Yo, she in the hospital." I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with?" And they were telling me like, "Yo, she was like really sick." I'm like, like what happened?" Like no one was telling. They was like, "I think she got the flu," but as time progressed and you started to put the pieces, she had COVID. Son. Like they wasn't even testing people
at that point.
at that particular time.
My friend's husband in DC, she shows pictures. He was in the hospital last year, July. He was in a striker frame. Okay, turned on his. What they told her initially was he had lung cancer.
Wow.
Now this was last year, July. She went back this year and like shared the picture. Said what we now know is COVID. So the striker frame actually had him breathing on his belly, where they were able to. He survived it. But I also have 2 twins I went to school with in Charleston, not Charleston, right outside of Myrtle Beach, Horry County.
Okay.
All 8 immediate family members had COVID. One of the twins stayed in the hospital 75 days. They lost their mom. She didn't even know her mom had passed from COVID while they were there. Brother just got released from the hospital in the last month. So we're thankful that they survived it. But this story hit them.
It affected. It affected. I'm telling you, we don't know everyone's like personal story, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of people lost like moms and grandparents,
and still losing.
Yes, and I heard so many stories. I have like I have like really tight knit neighborhood. It's dope though, but like they lost their parents to COVID, and I was like, that's crazy. They live in upstate. They live in upstate New York, and they had to move. They had to go, and I was like wondering, like I haven't seen them. Like, was everything cool or whatever? And then like the other neighbor texted my wife and told her like what was going on. I was like, that's ill. Like, so it definitely like I said, the average person, they're looking, they like, yo, they're looking at it. And they're looking at it like this dude. Again, I'm not saying he could have made it not happen, but
we would have still experienced loss. But if you could prevent
it, you let the people know. And the people that lost people, they ain't gonna forget.
And it's impossible to know if he would have did it earlier, what would have happened? Like, I mean, we could theorize. I mean, we could, think that something would, but we don't know, right? Right. And any one life, any one life lost is too many.
Too many,
right?
Yeah.
It's politics, man. But the illest thing that kind of, I was like, yo, this guy's crazy, is when he didn't denounce white supremacy. Ooh.
I was about to bring that up.
Yo, this guy's like openly like, it's like something crazy.
This thing is.
Look, I think he didn't think people was gonna catch on to that.
No, he didn't.
Because he was like, what you want me to say? Like,
what name you want me to call
it?
You say, good old boy, stand back and stand waiting. What do you say?
Stand back and stand down.
Something
stand
like that. Stand by.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Stand back and stand by.
Okay.
And basically,
he wanted him at the polls watching.
No, be prepared for war, because
he told him to guard the polls.
Single thing right now was pointing towards, let me create chaos.
This dude said
around November 3rd.
Go to the polls.
Go to the polls
and protect the polls. I was like, what the fuck?
So that is illegal. You know what I mean? Like, he's done so many things, and now Proud Boys are in the face.
They
of
responded.
Proud Boys tore me up.
I heard it on Swear in the Morning. They have this great guy, Mike Muse. Holler at me. We're gonna get to that point, but you need to holler. I love that. Mike Muse is something special, boy. And he has he's a really political guy, and he's like all over. He interviewed like Obama's and like all the other presidents and stuff like that. And he was saying, like, I think it's Twitter or one of them, like the good old boys or the Proud Boys. Proud Boys. They responded. It was like, we're gonna be there. Don't you worry, President Trump. And I was like,
they have recreated their
This
emblem.
guy is enticing like violence.
Yes.
This is type of like people take.
Wait, have you seen the leader of the Proud Boys?
No,
he's not far from one of us. He's actually, his name is Enrique.
I heard of that. I heard the name, but I didn't see a picture.
I don't know nothing about this group.
So the Proud Boys,
the Proud Boys is the white supremacists. Yeah, they're like,
okay.
And
this group
gave him a call to arms the other night.
Yeah,
right. That's who he was talking to when he said stand down and stand by.
Yeah,
he was talking to that crowd. The crowd I was telling you and Jamal at work about. But I didn't say it doesn't matter if he's racist or not, but he's passively aggressive racist. He doesn't. He'll denounce Black Lives Matter movement, but he won't denounce when a white group of people go up with guns and do things. So you'll speak on when there are shootings in Chicago.
But is any different than?
But would you? I don't care who the president is. I'm just saying his thing. This is what he do. This is how he catered to his audience.
Gotcha.
All presidents got BS with him. I'm just saying on him specifically.
Yeah.
I noticed with him, his game was he'll say Chicago, such and such amount of people died in Chicago, but he doesn't say like the school shootings and like the massacres that occurs in white communities and things like that. So that was.
But it's almost like his tactic is run into a movie theater and scream fire. He's going to incite a riot, create chaos.
I think he likes that energy.
And it's like, oh, you gave us a shout out. Now the Proud Boys have come out.
Right. Now they're really
their emblem. They changed their motto to stand down, and stand by.
So what is like what I mean, I don't know much about this group.
Okay. They've been there the whole entire time.
They're like a white militia.
Yeah.
Type group.
Like what do they stand for?
White supremacy.
White supremacy. KKK.
So it's guns.
But he's not white.
Correct. That's the leader. But this is the
well,
funny
he might
part.
be. He might be. I don't know.
He may be. Maybe a mixed descent. But the folks that are following.
But you're gonna always have that too, even if
order
it's not.
your guns. Get ready. And I saw one of the Proud Boy members say, basically, we're ready for war.
Yeah, whenever. Like so basically whenever you say
be a civil war if on November 3rd
if he
announced
to be the president.
Right. If
you can't,
Trump doesn't win.
Well, but here's the other thing. He Joe Biden said, this election, whatever happens, he'll accept the results. Donald Trump is not. He has not said that he would accept the results yet.
Correct, because groups like this say we'll go back. If you create chaos and you say
that's what I don't.
We can't declare a president. That's not cool.
I don't like that.
But it'll go farther into him still remaining.
He's
president
trying
next
to
year.
Basically he's threatening in the undertone. If I don't win, we got these dudes. Right. Basically. That's basically. I mean, if you read in between the lines.
KKK.
I mean, it goes back to this is a rigged election. Like he said.
Last time Russia, this time chaos.
The narrator clearly said.
And he was talking about like the mail-in ballots and.
He said that. I mean, the narrator said clear as day. Are you going to denounce the white supremacists and the KKK? He act like he didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you want me to call them? What's their name?"
He said, "Give me a name."
Give me a name. And then he said, he gave the call to arms to the Proud Boys.
Right.
So that was purposeful.
I have never seen any president do that. I don't like. That's kind of scary, man. I got a kid. I don't like that. I have a family. Right. I'm not white. These people exist. This hatred for people that are not white exists, and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't like that because I have a difference of opinion. You want to have someone possibly kill me,
right,
or family member of mine, or start a civil war. That's not productive.
And they called it by name. They said this will begin a race war. So they're making it between the divisive tone. He's continuing, and I believe the next debate will continue with the same debate.
Well, the next debate is going to be between
not the next vice presidential debate, the next presidential debate.
I want to catch because I wanted to catch the full debate, but I got caught up in something. I was like, oh shoot! But by the time I caught, I think a good chunk of it, but it's something I could tell by y'all conversation.
It continues.
It's something I missed. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out.
The presidential debate is going to be a real debate. I will say this.
Do you mean the vice presidential debate?
The vice presidential
debate. I want to see that Kamala Harris.
I will say this. Right? I will say this. Trump is lucky he did not get Kamala.
He's fortunate.
It would have been brutal. Over.
I don't know. I told you we had a show. I don't know much about Kamala Harris, but her reputation is crazy.
No, they say go back and watch her.
They say she a gang. I don't know much about her, but they say her reputation is crazy.
Brett
Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh, please go back and watch her grill him.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to
during
go check.
his
I'm gonna
his confirmation hearing. Oh,
he's
chewed
lucky.
him alive.
He's lucky. It's Biden.
Right.
He's lucky.
And you know what I noticed though about Trump during those debates, and I think I caught like the last 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so. But you know, Biden deals with speech impediment, right?
Yes,
He stutters.
Yes.
And, like if you don't, he's
very open about it.
Yeah, he had the stuttering part. He went to like
Yeah, when he about to cuss
speech
people out.
pathologist.
yeah, he had like help and stuff. And you know what? A lot of taxes. That was a part of Donald Trump's taxes. I learned that to be hostile and like cut him off. So he could paint this picture of him like not being cognitive of what's going on, like he's old and he's not capable.
To try to
of,
also force him to stutter.
So
That's what
it
he tried
does.
to do.
So I didn't know that until Mike Muse, the guy I was just shouting out earlier, he pointed out that Mike Muse pointed out that Joe Biden had that problem throughout his entire life, and he said that was a tactic used in order to get Biden to stutter and spatter his words so he won't sound like he's staying on topic and things like that. I was like, that was smart.
But American people also saw it as a bully tactic, because you can't take a special needs child and my child bully that child or make him uncomfortable and not able to speak, and me not get some form of conversation back from his school.
So Biden's going to get some compassion points for that.
He will get compassion.
Honestly, I didn't know he had that issue.
Oh, but it's
well documented.
It was well documented.
Yeah, it is. I went back and I looked at it. He really did. And he actually like mentored other youth and some younger guys.
And the pundits on the shows all knew it.
Yeah,
so I told you. They pulled up.
I told you I questioned his ability to finish 4 years. I told you that. I
didn't see nothing off with him at all. He couldn't get.
You have to go back and watch different rallies and different. Sometimes he's there and sometimes he's somewhere else.
Right.
I mean,
who are we speaking about? Biden.
I
saw some clips. I saw some clips where he's like queuing.
That's because y'all don't watch. They show y'all what they want to show.
I know. I
watch
clips,
it from start
I seen
finish.
clips of Biden like, cause I like YouTube with Google like when he seemed off and it's some stuff came up, but it was like
it's a lot. Trust me,
it's stuff did came up, and I seen where he was
we
like,
gonna say Biden is off, but not and say Trump got it all together.
Oh, and I'm not.
No. I'm just saying. I
had
saw.
to ask
I'm not saying that.
Oh no. I was just saying. I saw when he was queuing. It's like he was reading from like a prompter or something. Okay. He was queuing because he didn't know what to say. Like someone had either he wrote the speech or somebody wrote it for him.
I will say this between the two, and I mean, take it or leave it, but I have yet to see Trump lost. I've seen him try to wiggle his way out, but he knows he's just trying to.
He was lost in the debate the other night. There was a question and I do apologize for not being prepared, but I will go back, find the question, and he answered it, and it made absolutely no sense. It was a complete deflection.
That's how.
Not only deflection, but when you don't, your words don't make sense, and it was like he was answering a question from outer space. It wasn't like
I just didn't hear any policy.
I didn't hear that from him, but I've seen Biden like that many times where
and I don't doubt it, but I'm just saying,
and look, he's 77, so I mean he's
an older guy.
He should be allowed some mishaps, But
I saw the ones I saw like he couldn't read from a prompter because I saw his arm like queuing. I don't know.
He gets lost a lot. I mean, it is what it is.
Probably,
but like you said, he's 77. It is what it is.
How old is Trump though? Trump, man,
74.
74.
Yeah, he like.
I mean, he ain't no spring chicken.
They neck and neck. I mean,
I didn't know John was that old.
Yeah,
like older.
74.
Yeah,
he right behind him.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask y'all this. So, I had some other questions, but Joe Biden, 77. I think his birthday's like in November. He'll be like 78. Right. So let's. And I'm not wishing any bad ill will on him, nothing, right?
Let's just say
you have to ask it to Trump too.
But let's just say, let's just say, if something happens and for some reason he's not able to fulfill the full 4 years of his duty.
Mm-hmm.
That would make, I mean, let's say he's
won.
He's in president, right? That would make Kamala the first, not only African American, but the first woman president, right?
Yes.
How do you think the majority of Americans are looking at that?
In modern times, in today's, you'll have the male chauvinists that don't.
We know how the African American community is looking at it.
I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't trip.
Maybe.
I wouldn't care.
I would be extremely proud.
Maybe. Hold on. Yeah.
I do feel like she is. I don't think it's a given. I think she's earned her way. I do think she's well versed in being a politician and able to carry the country. Yeah, although I do think Congress would not be favorable to her because it is a predominantly white, male-based, big boys club type of deal.
Right.
She would get absolutely nothing done.
Correct. They would do a lot.
They would shoot every idea or policy that she try to
put through,
implement. Yeah.
She would get nothing done. But would women like that?
I think so.
Women are definitely proud. I do think she's able. She does have that Obama charm, if you will, to be able to connect with different
Obama.
The Obama charm.
Yo,
I do
politicians,
think it's a real thing.
I'm sorry, politicians are funny people, but Obama was something about that dude. Like, I remember when he was like singing Obama Marvin Gaye and all that.
He
was singing like Marvin Gaye and swag the way he walked. That dude was cooler than the other side of the pillow, man.
Believe it.
That dude was funny.
But he also had a real base, the grassroots. I mean, I signed up for Trump tickets because I was like, I don't want anybody in your seats. So I'm going to sign up for these free Trump tickets and a rally he had. And it went through on TikTok and all of the kids, So now I get his emails. Almost the same playbook that Obama had for grassroots, Trump's using to have a grassroots base, which is, how during Jim Crow era, the black community, definitely we went in each other's homes. We had meetings and things. They're doing the very same thing.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting dynamic because I'm interested to see how the majority of men are going to look at that because, the younger generation, I mean, may like it, but the reality also is the younger generation don't vote that much. The older generation, how are they? Because they're going to look at it the way I'm looking at it. He's 77. Okay. Right. We'll be lucky if he makes it through the 4 years.
4 years. Mm-hmm.
If something happens, who's next in line? Oh, this African-American, Asian, African-American female.
Right.
Do we want her? Like, I think
we had to ask the same question of Pence, though, because Mike Pence, who
had to ask that question?
I definitely did, because who's next? If in fact Trump was impeached, right, and he was, but I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. You had to ask that question.
Correct.
As an African American female, you had to ask that question.
Right. Let me look this guy up. Let me see what he is really about.
But the majority, of Americans. Or the majority of the of the voting bloc, did they have to look? No.
Pence, did you not know? Did you know Mike Pence before?
It doesn't matter.
I'm just asking.
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Other than like the debates. Other than like the debates, I didn't know him.
So my question is valid. If you did not know Mike Pence prior to
never heard
Trump
of him.
I had never heard of him. Mm-hmm. So when we're actually talking about a real impeachment, I said, well, let me take a moment and let me go back and look this dude up. Yeah. So it's valid, because we have to then look at, the dude that was running with Hillary Clinton. I knew nothing. I felt that almost closed casket for her.
Who ran with Hillary?
Tim White in Virginia. And I felt like, well, who is he? What does
I don't even remember dude.
You're right.
Exactly. And he's still,
because
still unmemorable right now.
You rarely look at who's right, the
You
VP.
don't care until
right?
they get in trouble.
Most of the
I
time,
remember
you don't.
Biden though. As ill as that.
Most of the time, you don't really care.
I knew Biden because Biden had that charm. He was a cool dude. I was thinking, I want to know who he.
I remember one thing about Biden.
What?
This is a big effing deal.
Yeah, that's a big effing deal.
Big effing deal, boy.
It was like he had that raw edge and was a little,
Right.
a little uncut. And I was thinking, I like this guy. Let me look into him a little bit more.
Yo,
And you know what's
low-key,
funny? Low key, I actually liked Biden probably 10 years ago.
Yo, you want to know who I wanted to see making? Yo, shout out to my homie Bernie Sanders. Yo,
And Bernie older than the both of them.
Bernie.
yeah, I wanted Bernie to win, son. Like, I really
didn't think
did.
he was tough enough to get through Trump. And as much as I like Bernie, I said he has the right ideals, right? But if we get him out there,
He wasn't
just
going-
because people don't like Bernie,
Yeah.
Trump going
He wasn't going to win anyway because he's too far to the left. He's
too
he,
far.
he doesn't even seem like he's willing to meet. in
And
the
you know,
middle.
did you notice Biden was trying to stay away because Trump was trying to connect Bernie with Biden during the whole.
Oh, he did. Yes,
he kept
did.
trying to
Yes.
connect them.
just because he knew people didn't
Well,
like
I heard him
Yes.
say far left
Yeah.
Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
times.
but he was
Yeah.
trying.
He
He
was trying to
said he
connect.
said
He
Bernie.
called Bernie by name.
He said Bernie name.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I didn't see. That's why I said I got to go back and watch that.
He
Yeah.
he talked about the Green Deal.
Yes. Yeah.
He talked about
because he's
the
convinced
manifesto.
people that science, global warming isn't a real thing. So he felt like,
But
if I can get on these pundits, those people who believe that global warming isn't a thing, and Bernie Sanders is loopy, and you guys don't like Bernie, so I'm gonna connect
So if I
Joe
can
with
connect
Bernie.
you with Bernie,
You're
then-
done.
That's
You're done.
one topic that Trump sounded like a dope when they were talking
What's that?
about global
He
warming.
does.
I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Because I know what global warming is. I was like,
Right.
what the fuck is he talking? Like, that don't have nothing to do with what? He was like, yeah, the car sells good.
I think
He was like, electric cars in California.
he did.
I was like,
what is he talking
I had
about?
the Scooby Doo. So I was like, who? I didn't know what it. I was
Yo,
like,
that's
we giving
hilarious.
incentives for selling electric cars. I was like, what's this dude
We're
talking
gonna sell a
about?
whole lot of
And the plan that
What?
Mr. Biden said it seems extremely expensive. Like he said, he wanted to weatherize like buildings, and
Man.
so all that stuff in there is going to cost a lot of money.
All that stuff is BS, man. All
I
I'm
agree.
talking, all that talk is BS.
Like
So
you said,
don't
it
think
was
global
fun
warming-
to
what,
watch.
What you saying though? You saying global warming isn't a thing?
No.
no,
Global warming
no.
is a thing.
Right.
No,
Well,
actually, no. I would. The way the way in which
Anything science say, this guy.
the
is
way in
opposed
which
to.
it is described.
Oh my
and
goodness.
and marketed.
Fumbling.
Nah, I don't agree with that. Nah. I do believe that the Earth goes through cycles, and I think we are
He's
experiencing.
a flat earther. This guy.
Nah. But I do not think we have much ability to stop what's happening. I don't.
So
Okay.
I mean, you don't, but you can see.
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
world is
It's
taking
happening.
shape. It is
Oh, okay.
happening.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But you don't believe that emissions and things like that put us in a worse position than we are.
It's in our nature to make things.
I think it's.
You just think
I
it's
think it's
natural.
I think if it is, that's a drop in the bucket. I think the Earth naturally goes through these.
No, sir.
Yes, that's
No,
what
it go, but not to the extent of what.
we haven't been here long enough to know because there was an ice
No,
age.
but we have
there was an
science.
ice age, right? So and there was a time before the ice age, right? And there was a time where there was Pangea, right? So the Earth has gone through many different
agree
cycles.
That there's cycles, but however, just like the body,
We affect
when
those
look at-
cycles.
We look at the body. The body, 25 years ago, diabetes wasn't as big as it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So science, we keep going in and saying, let's make food faster. Let's add more sugar.
Okay.
Let's take the commodity that the slaves had to manufacture and turn it against them.
Yeah.
So now diabetes is at this high rate. And I'm looking like 25 years ago,
it wasn't an issue.
it wasn't this big of an issue.
Autism. It was like a lot of stuff.
Autism, a lot of things. So those same cycles I apply to the human body.
I would agree. I would agree with that. And so in that case, yes. But I think it's different with the Earth.
So you just think it's natural?
I think
okay.
I think the majority of it is natural. Yes. Could we be speeding the clock up a little bit? Maybe.
Okay.
No, maybe.
But who knows how long?
Everything is
who
now
knows how
instant.
much we've actually sped it up?
Well, it shows that if in the time frame,
Science does not know.
This guy ain't science.
Science does not
He's
know.
not like I'm a science guy. He's
Right.
So
They can say, hey,
somewhere in the
if we never came up with cars, we would never have any hurricanes
With those- the evolution
or
of the car.
tornadoes.
Right.
Yeah,
cars
whatever.
clearly
you
affect.
Clearly.
You don't know.
and natural.
Okay.
It's a theory.
I'm not having this conversation
It's
with
a
you,
theory.
sir.
Okay.
It's a theory.
We can discuss this at a later show. This guy here, he just loves to go against science for whatever reason. My logic is undeniable. as
Nah, you
always.
just like to believe science.
I don't
for
believe in
whatever,
anything. That's
for whatever
nonsense.
they say.
Belief is the lack of evidence, y'all. Y'all know me.
But science will also tell you that they don't know.
And that's a beautiful thing. That
Right.
means you can work on it to come to a conclusion.
Right.
All right, y'all. We're going to end this show on that note. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was a political event, and we hope you guys enjoy, and we appreciate the guests coming by. Miss Misha.
Yeah, Miss Misha.
Please come by again. This is so fun. Check us out. We're going to hit y'all every Thursday, except for this week, but we're going to post the episode early in the morning on Friday.
We got you.
So, yeah, just check us out. We also on YouTube. We coming to all streaming platforms. So, yeah, check us out. This is the I'm Right podcast show. I'm Walt.
This is Jay.
I'm Misha.
All right.
We're going to hit y'all back.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.